Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I got into strongwoman on accident, actually. I used to play roller derby and then got into CrossFit, which was all well and good, except the best part of CrossFit was picking up heavy things. A couple of times I went to competitions, they had stones and truck pulls, and those were the sorts of things that I started to fall in love with. So on a whim one day to try something different, I signed up for the Charm City Strongwoman as a novice and went there with absolutely no training and had a blast. And while I was there, I actually met Jerry and got introduced to Viking Performance. I live about an hour and 15 minutes away from here, so I don't get to train here as much, but started coming down here for the Mountain Women of Strength seminars, different things like that, and started doing more competitions. This is Maidens of Might. This is my first time competing in this competition. It's actually my first competition this year. I chose this one mostly because I love Paul and Jerry in Viking Performance, and I love everybody that's competing in it. I just finished a cut. I'm no longer a heavyweight, I'm a middleweight. So I thought this would be a great one to get started with.
So this is the Maidens of Might Strong Woman Challenge. This is our third year having this. 78% growth over last year, 208% growth over the first year, the biggest all-women's strength competition in West Virginia history. So proud to be able to put this on and have all these women think so much of this event that they traveled to come here and compete. We have 5 fantastic events here today. We've already done the Mauser block over bar for maximum weight. That was fantastic. That was 4 state records. We are now on to the Fingal Finger and the Circus Dumbbell simultaneously. Those groups will switch when they're done with their respective events. We'll finish those events. We'll move on to the tire flip and axle deadlift event, as well as a Viking ship pull combo with a truck pull, which I don't think you're seeing very many other places. So a pretty unique event to hear.
I kind of did the whole wasn't super active. I was like a band geek in high school and stuff and wasn't really into sports. But then after college, I got sort of into nonprofit work, office job, kind of doing a lot of travel, gained a lot of weight, but mostly just like lost a lot of fitness levels, having a hard time keeping up with people, my friends, and doing stuff. So I joined a gym with some friends, and they wanted to go on a group personal training thing. Started doing the personal trainer was like, hey, you're like really strong. Do you want to do more of these like heavy weights? And just like after about a year on kind of a dare, the owner pulled me aside and was like, you should enter the strongman competition. Like, you'd be really good at it. And I'm like, oh, I could not do that. That's terrifying. But I did it and I won. Like, it was just a small local show, but I was totally hooked. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what tacky was for an Atlas stone. I didn't know how to clean a log. But actually, one of the women I'm here with today, Teresa, like I met her there. It was about 6 years ago now. Her and her husband talked me through a lot of the events. We've been training partners ever since. Like, I've just been hooked. I'm getting other people involved in it. It's my first time doing an all-women show of any kind. Okay. It's really exciting because it's funny, even in Columbus where we've got Rogue, we've got Slaters, we've got, this big groups of guys that train, but it's still a little smaller for the women in the shows. It's been getting bigger, but sometimes it's just Teresa and I showing up at a show. But we actually have gym space, the gym that we train at, Beyond Limits in Columbus. They've got strongman equipment now and they expanded. So we've been able to get more people interested, get their hands on equipment. I've been really passionate about getting more women and more people, more novices involved in strongman, because I think it's just a really fun, interesting sport. You never get bored because you're not doing the same things. I've got a friend who power lifts and that's fantastic, but I couldn't do the same lifts over and over and over again. I love showing up and, flipping a tire is the cardio that I'll do because it's fun. Pulling a truck is fun. Who doesn't want to pull a truck? It's great to see, especially women that haven't done a lot of strength sports. Like, you get them out there pulling a car and their faces light up, their lives change. I mean, it sounds kind of cheesy, but they are like, I can do this. And you're like, it's just a physics trick. It's on wheels. You're fine. But shh.
The military brought me to the West Coast, or the East Coast, and the East Coast sort of brought me into strongman. At the military facility where I train, they have a CrossFit gym. So I was doing that, and some of the ladies there said, "Oh, you're really strong. You should try this strongman thing." And so I did we actually had a strongman competition at my gym. There, it was not like official or anything, but I thought it was so fun. So we looked, a number of the girls that I trained with looked around to find a good strongman competition, and we found Maidens of Might last year in 2017. And we came up like having no idea what to expect, but saw that the weights were like crazy heavy, but we were super excited to just challenge ourselves, and we had so much fun. And we are all competitors in other events. We were triathletes, CrossFit, we'd done CrossFit regionals, done all sorts of different competitions, and not as much fun as doing the strongman competition. And it just kept bringing us back, and it was like almost an addiction. Like as soon as we would finish one competition, we'd start looking for what's the next competition we're going to do. And we travel, a group of us traveled from Maryland actually it took us almost 5 hours to get here, so that we can compete with all of these strong ladies today, and just have an amazing time. It's so fun to spend all day competing and just pushing yourself as hard as you possibly can, and just doing things that you never thought you could do, and then seeing all of the ladies around you do it too. It's just a fantastic sport, and we love it.
My name is Jewel. I'm a mom. I'm a wife, strongman competitor, open weight, middleweight. What brought me to strongman was while I was doing my Spartan race, I was following one friend on Facebook, and she had another friend who was a current competitor, and I just got interested in what she was doing. She was pulling an airplane. I was like, that's so freaking cool. So I just started doing research, and I started going to the competitions to see what everybody does, and then after I got my trifecta, I started training for strongman. So that's what got me started. I'm expecting PRs and to just do well and with the middleweight. I've always done novice, so this is the first time doing open weight. So
How do you feel?
nervous,
Nervous?
but feel good.
Good.
I'm Jen Armstrong. I work at, Babies R Us, but most of the time I'm just a mom of two amazingly awesome crazy boys. Born and raised in Maryland, moved back in 2017, and that November had my first competition. I started September training for a November competition thanks to my girls Dazzlin and all our other Southern Maryland ladies, and killed it, loved it, and just become addicted to it. It's my outlet now. Being a mom, working, everything, I go to the gym, and it's amazing. Most of the events here, never really done. So it's definitely a PR, personal PR for myself. Love that we all came out as a group, and I'm ready to just kill it. I'm ready. I'm set. I'm pumped. Ready for a lot of growling and yelling.
I'm a light touch. You can talk me into just about anything in strength sports. I got a call from Jerry probably about 2.5 years ago to do their Halloween contest, and I passed on that. But the next year I ended up doing it, and been in it ever since. It's their family, your family in strongman, and specifically did this contest because it is all women, a lot of new women doing it, and it's good to show that like it's a supportive event. I mean, all of us sit there and we like count reps and we're like, what do I need to win? But at the end of the day, like if the next person up is like 1 rep away from beating you, you're like, you get it, I dare you, and you're happy when they do because it's awesome. So, yeah. I actually had a friend who came last year to watch and really wanted to do it. Unfortunately, her health caused her not to be able to compete, but she said, you guys were so supportive in this that I want to do it. I want to be part of it. It's not to win, it's to be a part of something.
So much has changed in the last 3 years. I remember someone asked me what my dream was for my sport, and I said for a woman to become professional like men did. In my head, I thought that would take about 10 years. It's happened in the last 2. Women are able to become professional. I was one of the first 40, and now we can actually make money off competitions. I'm starting to make it my career, which is pretty awesome because I never thought that was possible. Short-term goals as far as professional strongman goes, just more competitions. Right now is only about 2 to 3 a year that we can actually make money from. So I hope that there's definitely more opportunities for that. And long term, I hope that women, which I know we will, can reach levels like Brian Shaw and Thor are, where they're doing documentaries on them. They actually make a very sustainable living off of this. I remember being, I was the most nervous for my first few competitions as compared to I am now. So it's really awesome to kind of feel their energy. I think as I compete more, I get less and less nervous, which is awesome. But it's still really awesome to see people's nerves and their excitement and frustration, just kind of live vicariously through them.
New England Women's Strength was formed by myself and Gina Melnick in 2014, where we found that there was really no place for information sharing for women in strongman, or how to get the word out about upcoming contests or how other women get involved. So we kind of formed a local, grassroots organization to help get women educated about the sport, have training days to help teach people, because me and Gina came in and we found ourselves not knowing what to do and figuring our way out, and wanted to really expand women in the sport. So we really grew over the years. We hosted 3 workshops, training days at various locations throughout New England, just at women's only, to help cultivate the women's culture, because it was such a male-dominant sport at the time. And then we've held 2 contests in conjunction with Ladies Lift Here over the last couple of years, which have been awesome. So we're really just about getting women involved in the sport. We're really proud to see how far it's come since the inception of the organization.
Put the 180 up there, started to see those nice stars, thought I should put it down just to be safe. So I could have done some better. Like always, I suck at the events that I have full confidence in, and then I do well at the ones that I'm like, no, that's not. So I'm gonna go sit in a hot tub, nurse my bruises. But it was way fun. Love it. Love it.
Good stuff. Go places and do things, maybe to forget it.
As middleweight after no, but definitely things to work on. I had a great time, and I got a competition in 2 weeks now. It's only my second competition.
That's a really good look for you.